See, I'm back on my... See, I'm back on my bullshit. Ayy, see, I'm back on my bullshit. Came a long way from school, bitch. We them niggas been banging and walking with full clips. Pocket filled with them blue strips. All I hang with the silent, can't fuck with no loose lips. If he ran, cut him loose quick. If a fuck nigga try, bet his ass make the news quick. Hit his ass with these blue tips. But these niggas won't shoot shit. Cause these peons ain't stepping how my niggas stepping. Walk them down, but that teacher.
What up, though? What's cracking, Scorpio? I hope that all of my beautiful and my handsome Scorpios out there are doing well. All right, y'all. So we're about to get into this reading, see what it is that you need to know. Okay, I forgot what I was at, but if you find some resonate, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you're interested in a personal, my email will be in the description box below. Also, in the description box, you will find a link to Outer Spirit, okay? Now, if you're interested in purchasing some beautiful jewelry, whether it's earrings, bracelets, necklaces that has intention, baby, Outer Spirit is where to go, okay? Now, if you decide to make a purchase, don't forget to use that coupon code BLUFlame20, BLUFlame30 now, so that you can get that 20 and 30% off of your purchase. All right, so let's get into it. Messages for Scorpio. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to separate people. All right, so messages for my Scorpios. What is it that Scorpio needs to know? So we have ground yourself, okay? You're being told to ground yourself at this time. Right now, there can be like things in your life may feel unbalanced, or you may feel like you're being pulled in all different type of directions. Ground yourself. Go outside, plant your feet on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Go barefoot, don't put on shoes on, go out there, touch the ground, become one with nature here, okay? This is going to help bring balance into your life. So if you kind of feeling like your energy is all over the place, you feeling a little discombobulated, go outside, ground yourself, spend some time in nature, okay? We have a new partner. All right, so this chance meeting will be no mistake. So you're going to be crossing paths with somebody, you guys, okay? And whoever this new partner is, it's going to be divinely orchestrated that you and this person cross paths. So when you meet them, there's not going to be any coincidence. Some of you have been manifesting or praying to meet someone new. All right. The universe wants you to pay close attention to the new people that they are sending into your life, because these people are going to feel very familiar. You're going to feel comfortable with these people, but you're also going to feel safe and secure. So it's like you don't have to question these people's intentions and, do they want the best for you, or are they in it just because they want something? Like, no, their intentions will be pure and genuine. Okay, we got child. So you deeply care about children. So you can be a parent. Some of you guys, maybe you're a mom, or you want to become a mom. You don't have any children here, okay? All the children, including your inner child, require love, affection, and attention. We can clear and open your heart and schedule time so that you have. Hold on. So right now, they need you to clear and open your heart and schedule time so that you can have the energy with the children who need you. So you can be like me, you entrepreneur trying to get it in, you have kids, you got to try to find balance. Like all the time, you guys, I pray for balance in my life, balance everything that I'm trying to do, balance these platforms, balance my household, balance me being able to spend time with my baby, because I had a conversation with him. My son is 10, and he's still a kid, so I often ask him, like, mama ain't working too much, or you don't feel like you're being neglected, or, I tell him, if you want mama to play a game with you, or we go outside and do something, like, let me know. I don't want to ever make him feel like my work is more important than him, because that is not the case, okay? So I feel like if you do have kids, make sure you spend time for your kids. Like, yeah, it is hard to balance. When you're trying to grind, when you're trying to make shit happen for the kids, you do have to find that balance. Even if you have a man or woman in your life, if you're an entrepreneur, you work hard at a job, whatever it is that you do, you still have to find balance to make sure that you make time, you clear time. You don't ever want anybody in your life to feel neglected, like you don't care about them, okay? So let's get into it. All right, so we got, it's simple, really. How do I feel about us? I want you. All right, so somebody, like, people could be questioning them about how they feel about you. Maybe some of you have been questioning about how this person feels about you. And it's like they saying it's simple. I want you and I want us. You know what I'm saying? I want this shit forever, ever. Like, I don't want this to be no little temporary situation. Like, I want this to be forever here. So Someone, I feel like I said, you can be questioning how this person really feels about you, and it's like, this is what they're saying to you. I want you and I want us. Damn, okay. But there was someone or something who interfered with this relationship. So this could be why you're questioning how this person really feels about you. All right. So it's like, I feel like subconsciously, this is what you've been asking yourself. Like, how does this person feel? Do they care about me? Do they want me? Like, what's the plan? What's the play? And it's really simple. This person does want you, but there is someone. There was someone. So there's either someone currently now, or there was someone in the past that interfered with this relationship. And I feel like they really made this person feel like this is a fling. So I feel like for some of you, you had a fling with somebody. All right. This was just could have been a friends with benefit type situation. It never was a relationship. Like this right here, what I'm picking up on, this was not a relationship between you and this person. Y'all just could have been fucking. This could have been little friends with benefits. Y'all could have just been hooking up, like whatever it was. But this is honestly, I feel like how they felt, or for whoever this is that interfered with this connection, they tried to make this person believe that what you guys shared was just a fling. This shit wasn't real love. Convinced. Thank you, Spirit. It was like whoever this was that interferes, I'm picking up a third party. Whoever this third party was that interfered with this connection was like they tried to convince this person, like, man, you don't love Scorpio. So I'm sure, hell, they done told this third party about you or they know about you. And it's like they tried to convince, like, man, you don't love Scorpio, man. That was just a fling. Scorpio got that good and you just got hooked. Like, this is what they were trying to convince them. They didn't want to allow this person to validate their feelings and be able to really say or express how they felt about you, okay? Give us a couple of more. We're going to dig just a little deeper. All right, this person feels terrible for hurting you because I feel like deep down this person did have, like, I feel like their higher self knew this was more than a fling. Their lower self tried to convince them or always made them feel like you was just good sex, like you were never going to be nothing more than that. They feel terrible for hurting you. This might not even been a fling. You know what I'm saying? For some of y'all, you could have been in a relationship. You could have been married to this person. But either way, I feel like this person hurt you. Something that they said, something they didn't do, allowing this third party to interfere with this connection with you guys. They feel terrible for hurting you here, okay? All right, this is someone who I feel like you make very nervous. This person's very nervous when it comes to you. I feel like they get full of anxiety here and they don't know what to say or how to act around you. So you make someone very nervous. It could be this person for some of y'all, it could be this new partner, this new person coming in. For some of y'all, this could be you. I really feel like this person wants to say something to you guys, but they're nervous. They're full of anxiety. They don't really know how you're going to react, what you're going to say. All right. So let's pull. I want to see what this person did. How did they hurt you? Give me a second. All right, so let's see. Let's go back. Let's get the backstory to this situation. All right, so this is someone who it's like they're telling you they do want you, they want us, but they allow the third party to interfere in this relationship. Okay, for some of you, this third party tried to convince this person that what you and them shared was not real love. That shit was just a fling. This person said some things, they did some things, and it's like they feel terrible for whatever they did to hurt you. I feel like this person is nervous. I feel like they want to talk to you, but because it's been a lot of time since you guys have interacted or had a conversation, it's like they don't really know what to say. They don't really know what to do at this time. So give us a little bit more. How did this person hurt Scorpio? What did they do to Scorpio? I love you, Scorpio. What did this person do? They were afraid to love again. This person ran away from you because they were afraid to love again. This is somebody that's been burned before. They tried to love in the past. They tried to be in a relationship. They tried to commit themselves in the past, and this shit didn't work. So this person had some unhealed trauma, all right, that they experienced in their life. And because they chose not to heal from whatever this person was afraid to love you. This person was afraid to open up themselves. I feel like they were very closed off. They were very guarded. And if they ran, it's like as soon as they felt themselves getting close to you, like for some of y'all, this is when this person would ghost you. They was like, man, I ain't gonna be like, this is someone, whether male or female, like I feel like as they felt themselves getting close to you, because I feel like they will often sit up and think about you, like, man, I want to talk to Scorpio, I want to see Scorpio, and then like they lower self will come in and be like, man, fuck that, you better suck that shit up, like that ain't your man, that ain't your woman, why you want to spend all your time with them, why you want to see them. So it was kind of like this person, they feel terrible for hurting you because they were afraid to love someone. They had a lot of unhealed trauma. This person was a runner. For some of y'all, this could have been your divine counterpart. All right, your divine masculine, who always tend to run from their problems versus facing their fears and trying to figure out why is it that I'm scared to love again. They just ran from that shit, okay? What did they do to Scorpio? All right, for some of y'all, this could have been a marriage, a relationship where you were dealing with someone who was very controlling. They needed to be right all the time. You know, I feel like every time y'all would have y'all misunderstandings or disagreements, like you basically had to learn to agree to disagree because they never were going to see your point of view no matter how much you argue, how many other people you got involved. This person only was going to see things their way. They had to be right all the time. This person could have been possessive over you for some of you. They ain't want you doing shit. They ain't want you going to hanging out with your friends and going to family functions and doing shit that you probably did before you met them. All right. You know, I see that all the time, especially like, you know, watching TV and stuff like that. Like you see how even men and women, you know, can be controlling and try to isolate people from their family and friends so they can have more control. That was their way of manipulating you guys, okay? This could have been a very jealous lover. Like they wanted you all to themselves, okay? Tell us more. How did this person hurt Scorpio? All right, exit plan. I feel like you were the one. You wanted out of this relationship. For some of you guys, you were sitting up here preparing to get away from them, but it was like you haven't made a move. Well, for some of you, because remember, there's a third party that's interfering in this connection. For some of you guys, maybe they've been working or thinking about an exit plan, but they haven't made any moves, you know, so say last time you talked to this person, they told y'all, man, you know, me and old girl, me and old boy, we don't really fuck with them like that. Like they tell you things, oh, they got a whole man, they got a whole woman, but shit, why you still there? You know? So this person thinks about an exit plan, they think about walking away, but they aren't ready to make a move, you know. But for some of you, there could be some sudden changes now. You know, this person could just be like up one day and be like, you know what, fuck it. Like I want to go be with Scorpio. You know, in order for me to be with Scorpio, I gotta get rid of this particular person. I got to close out this particular cycle first, okay? How this person hurt Scorpio? Tell us more. All right, for some of y'all, they were concerned about their public image. Or for some of y'all, maybe they didn't want to be seen with you in public. You know, maybe they feel like you weren't good enough or maybe they weren't good enough for you, but they were worried about their appearance. They worried about how the outside world would view you and them together, what they would say about you guys. You know, this could have been someone who was very conceited. So, like I said, maybe they didn't feel like you were good enough to be seen out with them in public. So, oftentimes, a lot of things that y'all did was behind closed doors. You know, this could have been a very private relationship. You know, this person put you, I feel like this person made you feel like, for some of y'all, they made you feel like you weren't good enough. Cause you're like, damn, why we can't never go nowhere? Like, we don't go to no movies. Like, we supposed to be cool and we supposed to be there. Like, why are you afraid to take me out in public? You are like you don't want to be seen with me. Like, am I ugly? You don't think I'm, you know, like this person had you questioning yourself because they were more concerned about how other people were going to view you and them. Like, what they were going to say about them being with you and all this type of stuff. Okay? Let's get one more. How does this person hurt Scorpio? Because they gave you a lot of false hope. So this person sold you a dream. For some of you, they told you, yeah, we're going to be together, but I got to, you know, get rid of this person first. And y'all been waiting for them to do that, and they ain't did that shit yet. You know, they'll tell you, yeah, I love you. Yeah, I care about you. Yeah, I want to be with you. But at the same time, they didn't treat you like that shit. Their actions didn't match with their words, you know? Like the things that they said, I feel like I said, their actions didn't match their words, but I feel like for a lot of you, they just told you what the fuck you wanted to hear. They told you what you wanted to hear so they can get out the situation what they wanted, whatever that was, okay? This person, I feel like this is someone who often avoided a lot of issues. So I feel like you and them had a lot of unresolved issues. Y'all had a lot of fights and arguments, but it's like the shit never went anywhere because they were in this evasive ass energy. You know, this person would avoid problems. You would ask them a question, they'll sidetrack that shit, you know what I'm saying? Or start talking about some more shit, or they'll deflect. Thank you, Spirit. This person would deflect things that you say and made you feel like, you know, your feelings weren't valid. You know, this is someone who I feel like they would shift away. Like you would ask them a question, do you love me? Well, why you always gotta ask me this? Whoop, whoop, this and that. Like you could ask them a simple question like them getting all mad and flying out the handle, but it was like they never would answer your fucking question. You know, are you talking to anybody else? You always accuse me of cheating. You must be the one to cheat. This is that type of person. You know, so I feel like for some of y'all, this is how this person knew that they hurt you guys, okay? And they allow for some of you, this third party, to interfere. So I'm picking up either they allow, for some of you, there was a third party that interfered in this connection between you and them. Others of you, you could have been in a relationship. You could have been in a marriage with this person, but this is what you dealt with. You dealt with someone who was controlling, someone who didn't know how to 100% love you, someone who never walked away. They were concerned about what everybody else thought. And it's like they never can answer your questions, you know, so it always makes you feel like they were lying or they were hiding something from you, okay? We got Libra, Pisces, Aries, Cancer. Who is this about for Scorpio? Aquarius, Heavy Taurus, Gemini. Heavy Gemini, Scorpio, Aquarius. And who is this about for Scorpio? Capricorn, Scorpio, Libra, and Gemini. All right, you guys. I love you. And until next time, stay blessed.